What is this power electronics converters? Power is whatever we got to transfer from one end to the other end. Transfer from one end to the other end. What is power electronics converters? It transforms one particular voltage value to the other particular voltage value. Let's just take it. So if I'm taking one particular voltage value to the other particular voltage, it can be either AC to DC or DC to AC, or AC to AC, or it is DC to AC to DC, or it is a DC to DC. Can be anything. That's why I told it is a power electronics converter. Why I should transfer this? What is the reason for transferring this? Why I need all these things? Why I need all these things? So something is available in the nature where this nature availability need to be utilized. When I try to utilize this nature's availability, I need this power electronics converters. So that means, what is the present day scenario of your power generation? My present day scenario, if you just take it, my present day scenario of power generation, can any one of you please communicate to me what is the present day scenario of power generation, still now what it is having? No idea on that? So present day scenario of power generation is, it is actually a conventional sources of energy that we are using. What is conventional sources? You got coal, you're going to fire the coal and make it as a steam, and this steam you're going to make it convert into a mechanical energy. This mechanical energy is driven by the turbine and get the mechanical energy, give it to the generator, and generator is going to convert your mechanical energy to electrical energy. That means you are going to use a rotating device. You are going to use a rotating device. If I take the next one, the highest mega amount of power generations is after thermal power plant, it is your nuclear power plant. So the nuclear power plant, what we are having is actually, if you just see it, where the uranium or thorium is burnt, where it generates a steam, that steam will be converted into mechanical energy. Then mechanical energy to electrical energy, there also we use a generator as. The next case, if you go for, what is the next one? Otherwise, then apart from these things, diesel engine, where you got your that is a diesel as a fuel. What is all the problems? What is the major problem encountered in this? What is the major problem encountered in this? Can you just see what is the major problem which is encountered in this? What is the major problem which is encountered in this? The major problem in this encountered in this during this one is you got coal. Coal is actually when you are burning coal, you are having you are generating steam by burning coal. But what is that you are getting is the emission is CO2 emissions. Next, you got nuclear power plant. What is the next one? Is nuclear power plant, you know, actually there is a lot of problem which is going on with the nuclear power plant, especially when Kudangulam was there. When they are starting the second unit, there was a lot of agitation which is going on because the radioactive rays which is there available in Kudangulam spoils the surrounding environment, and people in Kudangulam is going to have a lot of diseases, and they are going to spoil the fishes in the sea. The nature is going to affected. Lot of problems like this. When the agitation was going on, I think my friend was there, Sundar Rajan, and his what is that? They are having a forum. That forum is also went on for a lot of agitations and they went in for strike, all those things. It is the forum that they had is that Puvulagin Nanbargal. They are going in for a lot of agitations with the environmental issues, saying those problems and other things. So even though we are getting mega power generations, a lot of problem is available in the scenario. So what is that people decided to go in for the renewable energy, natural resources. So what is the renewable energy, natural resources? Renewable energy, natural resources are nothing but your wind, your solar. You got biomass, whatever waste you are producing daily, biomass energy. And apart from this, you got tidal, that is oceans, tidal one. And next one, with all these things, we got a fuel cell to us. These are the sum of our natural resources, which we are going to do. You can ask me, ma'am, why it is not possible to go in for power electronic converters with the conventional system. See, the conventional system is all a rotating system. The rotating system having a constant frequency. And the voltage generation is also of AC voltage generation or a DC. Constant DC can be possible with a conventional system. And controlling is also becoming easy. But when it comes for the renewable energy scenario, I will just come with the first one. When you take the renewable energy scenario, the scenario, if you just see it, this is the expected contribution of the world towards the renewable energy scenario for the future. So you just see it, the renewable energy scenario for the contribution. So if you just see the contribution of renewable energy scenario, as per this world graph, you got the entire North America. Entire North America is going to be fully of renewable energy side, and we in India also is going to be of fully, and the Russian federations also going to contribute fully. So it is going to, in the IRENA estimate, it is an IRENA is Indian Renewable Energy Nation Academy's estimate. They made it actually here, the Renewable Energy Forum, that each and every country should double its renewable energy or triple its renewable energy by 2030. So this was the estimate which the overall contribution has been given, and how much they are now having it actually. So the non-renewable energy, that is non-renewable energy map of the countries, that is this ash color thing is where they are going to utilize the non-renewable energy side, and the green color thing is all it is going in for the renewable energy. So this was the forum. This held, the meeting held in Paris, and during that time they made a scenario, and the whole of the country has been accepted all these things. Okay. So if you just see it, what is the scenario is, if you just take it, they are going to have the forum that they are going to utilize it for the future. All the green thing is only of renewable energies. All the non-green thing, that is ash, is of non-renewable energy. Okay, the percentage indicates how much each country consumes in 2030 if a doubling of the renewable energy share is achieved based on the IRENA estimate. How much each and every country is going to observe. So each and every country going to consume the energy. Okay, So this is what the estimate that they've kept on each and every country in the renewable energy side. If we come to India, India is the fourth attractive market in the world. So by 2040, what is that we try to develop is we try to develop at least 15,820 terawatt hour by 2040. So our demand of 2040 is nothing but now itself we are in terawatt. But when it comes into the situations, it is actually 15,800 terawatt hour by 2040. To achieve this, we need actually aiming to achieve out of for this to meet this energy demand, we are going to achieve 227 gigawatt of renewable energy. This includes 114 gigawatt of solar watt capacity and 67 gigawatt of wind power capacity by 2022. So what is the planning is the government? The government plans to establish 523, that is, it wants to double it. So that is why the previous case we have seen it is a doubling effect. So I just wanted to double the capacity by 2030. Even though they given the target as 2040, we are going to have the target as by 2030. By 2030, we are going to double the capacity, including the hydro capacity, of the system. When I try to address this one, I should need to address the market issue. What is the present scenario? What is the present size? What is that which is having? So presently, India is having 92.97 gigawatt as the renewable energy sources, and implemented is, that is, installation is 92.97 gigawatt, whereas implemented is 50.15 gigawatt, and in various phases. In 2000, they have included 50,100 megawatt of wind power project were issued, and projects has been already awarded as 12,160 megawatt. And power generation from renewable energy year in the financial year is actually reached 127 billion units. Billion units is megawatt hour. Okay, billion is, you can calculate it. So based on this one, the India, which has been ranked in the fourth market, based on this installation, we have reached third globally in terms of renewable energy investment and plans. See, we have reached only in the investment and plans, and plans has not been completed. And being a Tamilian and I am in Tamil Nadu, so I was very much worried when I was preparing. So I was very curious about the data, whatever I am having. So I just went in for what is the data that Tamil Nadu is having. So it is of 33.44 gigawatt installed power generation capacity till February 2021. So this is a scenario or the market size which is available in this one. Maybe you can just, I've given a reference in the site. This site is having each and every state, what is the installation capacity, etc. Everything which is available in the reference. Maybe I will give the slides to Vinod when he was just going in for the further process. So this is actually the data which is available. So what is that the situation which it comes here? If you just see it, India has a plan of 127 billion units of power in the financial year 22. But 23, what is that, which is by 2030, I have to achieve 523 gigawatt of power. Approximately nearly some 300 to 400 is left behind for us. So when we are going in for some shortage of some 300, what is that we are planned for? Planned to achieve is 227. So naturally, what will happen? 227 in the year by 2022. So remaining 8 years, we have to achieve 800. That is 100 gigawatt is required for us. So that is easy actually. As per this statement, if we try to achieve 227, As per this one, 300 is remaining. So we got only 2022 within 8 years of time. It is possible for us to go on for 300. That is very easy. We could able to do it. But the plan is actually this 300 by 2030. But this is also only aiming to achieve. This is not installed. So what is that, which is again becomes a bad scenario for us. We have to develop in the technology to go on for this particular situation. My screen is not moving. I don't know why. Yeah. So we have to know exactly what is the scenario that is happening. So to have the scenario, what is the condition of present scenario? If you just see it in the renewable energy in the world, India is the 5th largest. But if I take wind power, it is the 4th largest, and the solar power installed capacity, it is actually the 3rd largest. So that means if we want to give from 5th to 4th, I told it is in the market, it is 4th. That means in the planning side, it is in the 4th. But actually installed capacity, it is in the 5th. But when you take the wind energy, it is in the 4th. And solar energy, it is there in the 3rd. So the major renewable energy sources, which is playing a vital role in the market to avoid the CO2 emissions. Major thing, what is that they are saying is CO2 emission need to be avoided. So when I try to have a CO2 emission need to be avoided, that means I cannot go in for the mechanical energy conversion. The mechanical energy conversion cannot be accepted. So I have to extract the energy and straight away convert the energy into a electrical energy. So if I try to take the installed capacity of wind power of installed capacity, ma'am, you say that mechanical energy conversion need to be avoided. But if I take a wind, what will happen? The rotation of axis, everything becomes mechanical only, mechanical without mechanical energy. So here I should say instead of mechanical, making a steam turbine, because there only you will be having the radiations will be coming out. If I just take the steam generation type, so a steam generation type need to be avoided. That means I can convert directly the wind energy into a mechanical energy and into an electrical energy. If possible, if there is a technology available, wind to direct electrical energy, no, it's not possible. Why? Because the wind energy is an unpredictable. All renewable energies are unpredictable energies. We don't know what will happen the next moment. You are sitting here, you will feel cold. The next moment it may rain. The next moment it may be sunny. So you don't know what is the situation is. What the predictions. The meteorological centers may say that this prediction will be there. Meteorological center also say that today it may rain. So today it may rain means it will be today means what? Within this 24 hours it may rain anytime. But they also could not able to say that today at 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock there will be a rain. That's not possible. It is not so easy to say those things, because he will say, see, for example, recently we come across Yash. Is it right? Or they said within this time to this time, this will cross the place. But they didn't say exactly specifically at this particular place only it will cross. Even 2015 in Tamil Nadu when Thane came, that time also the meteorological center told this Thane will cross between Pondicherry to Kadalur. But they didn't say between Pondicherry to Kadalur at what particular place it will hit. That is nature's creation. Nature's creation cannot be changed when you try to do something. So what is that we have to go for? We have to go for actually the situation, the environmental conditions cannot be predicted. So to predict the environmental condition, we should have exactly history of data. If history of data is also available, what happens to the history of data? last week we have seen Kanyakumari is fully flooded. Nobody predicts that there will be so much of rain and it is fully flooded, and the flood will cause a lot of problems. Nobody expected. Is there any expectations? Is there any meteorological center could able to say that this will be like this? No, nobody could say. See, we could able to build dams to store water, and we could able to generate hydropower, which is also one of the renewable energy sources. Is it possible to raise the dam height? No, the constructions cannot be possible. What is that we could able to see? What is that we have to do our case? So only thing is we have to utilize the environment. So when there is a heavy water inflow, is it possible for us to give an hydro generation? Is it possible to give the hydro generation? No, it's not possible. How can it be possible to give the hydro generation for us? There is heavy rain which is slashing. It could not able to have the system. So when there also, if you have a controllable inflow of water only, it's possible for you to have a generation. If there is an uncontrollable system is running, we cannot do anything with that. Okay, so that is what is happening. If we are designing a wind turbine for a particular axis, so when we try to design the wind turbine for a particular axis, what will happen? Wind turbine will work with that axis. If I say that the wind generation is possible between 3 meter per second to 12 meter per second of, that is, if the wind blows within particular velocity, then what will happen is my system will be running. When I say that this is running, if my wind is blowing for suddenly one day wind is blowing at 14 meter per second, what will happen to my wind turbine? It will try to run, it will try to accept, but what will happen is, since it's not able to withstand its incapacity, naturally it will break. What will happen when it breaks? My entire cost and investment on that wind turbine, which will be around lakhs together, will be spoiled. And lakhs together is spoiled is not a problem. That is my investment. Because of that, I am relying on some load that will be going off. But what happens in case of your conventional sources? It is actually you are going to generate the steam. If there is a problem, you will stop the entire situation and keep it and keep all the maintenance and then do it, and then you will make it. Okay. And what is that you will do? You will be having a parallel another one more system and it will run. Here also you may say, ma'am, I'll be having one more, but at the same point, so both the turbine fails. What will happen? That particular person whomsoever you are going to load it, he is not going to join. That is one problem that we will encounter in this situation. But that will arise once in a while or sometimes in the year. We don't know what is that, when is that sometime. So it's not a problem. Okay. So we can go on for the renewable energy applications. Okay. The next case. What is the expectations? How you're going to remap it? So we got actually the renewable energy sources are hydropower energy, bioenergy, and it is wind, offshore wind and onshore wind. And we got solar PV panel, and we got geothermal and combined source power. Okay. So first one within Roundus, which is presently installed. Presently, hydropower is 50 gigawatt, which is available. This is all in India. And bioenergy, we are very lacking in bioenergy. It's very less. And offshore wind is actually, sorry, onshore wind is, which is nearly around 15 gigawatt capacity. And solar PV is, we are really less. In 2010 it is. And geothermal and CSP is almost zero. And reference cases by 2030, if 2030, if you just check it, we are increasing our hydropower because Northeast is having better hydropower, and people now, I should thank people and the environment. They are having some concentration now. They could able to do something on the bioenergy and solar PV. So major concentration where it is going actually is your wind and solar PV and hydro. So these are the three things where I'm having major concentration on the system. So this three things is majorly to be concentrated. So when I try to concentrate on hydropower, it is not a problem because the structure existing is not going to change. But when I try to have an onshore wind, yes, because I have to put the structure of wind turbine, I should convert the wind turbine AC into a fixed AC, variable AC into a fixed AC. And in case of solar, I need to convert your DC supply into an AC supply. So this becomes a big issue for me when I'm just trying to take the situations. So how I'm going to come across the situation? What is the condition that I will be making to come across this particular situations? So here, what is the problem? I have to. So here only the major scenario is coming. I have to go on for some technology. Previous technologies are very different and present technology is this. So before going in for, when I try to have these things, I should really know how useful these things are, in which sector which will be used. So the outer sector is actually what is the application, that is what are the things that I'm going to have generations, and inner sector is how I'm going to utilize it. So if I just say the total energy, in the total energy, solar PV takes 11%, wind takes 14%, and hydro takes 7%, and biomass is of 3%, biofuel is of 5%, and solar thermal plant and geothermal plant is less than 1%, and biomass from district buildings is from 30%, and you got biomass from heat industries from 20%. So these are the things that I'm just going it. Where I'm going to use it, what is the use, how I'm going to utilize it. In the power sector, I'm going to utilize it for 36% of this one. I'm going to use in the power sector itself, and remaining for heat and other direct uses. That means I can have my local generation. See here, 59 to 60% is for your heat and other direct uses. That means the other direct uses here says is nothing but your microgrid concept. You generate, you utilize. That is a concept. Power sector says you contribute to the major source to the power sector, and power sector will do the generation, transmission, distribution, etc. All those things it will do it for the system. So this was the conditions in case of your renewable energies by the application and the process. So what is that I am now going to talk about is this 59%. This is 100% energy. How I'm going to utilize it for the 59%. And we got actually the 5% which is there for the transport. So that 59 plus 5 is 64%. Nearly 65% of it is going to be directly utilized for the system. How it is going to be utilized? That is by the microgrid or the sector spaces. So when I try to utilize, what is the cost that I'm going to use it? So to generate these things, the cost is, it is $17 billion of US dollars is going to be there. So under this one, air pollution, that is due to air pollution is getting reduced to 2.5 5 times, so which has savings of nearly 59 to. Previously, I was talking about the initial investment cost of your wind energy that we are going to put it. But now what is that I'm going to, because of these things, I'm having air pollution, which is going to reduce by 224 times. And from CO2, high estimate is 12 times of this one is going to be reduced. So this was the condition in the scenario of the present situations that I'm going to do. So is it really a good situation? Will it be possible for me to take the situations? Yes, it is possible for me to go on for handling this particular situations. There is a question for me. How the load frequency control is maintained when the solar generating unit, which does not have any rotating mass or inertia, is connected to the grid? Yes, good question. Sandip, which I'm going to talk about. I have not yet started. Anyway, I will answer this question. Frequency control. You are talking about what is called as frequency control, right? Where is the frequency comes into picture? If you just take first is, if I take an AC generator, how frequency is related? Frequency related is 120 F by P is equal to N. N is what? The speed of the machine which is connected and the pole of the machine. If the pole and the speed is designed, then your frequency, that means pole is constant. If speed is constant, your frequency will be maintained constant. So how will you maintain the speed constant? You can maintain the speed constant by controlling the field or the armature of the machine. So that is what is happening in the conventional system. But in case of your power electronics converter, if I take power electronics converter in the solar energy cases, what is that which is happening is, which is of my own area. So I am in a position that I should answer to this question. Okay. So when you try to take this particular case, what is the condition is here is, first is the solar energy is having a generation of DC. One solar panel could able to generate up to a voltage of 12 volt DC. So if I take, if I connect 10 panels in series such that I will be getting 120 volt. Okay. So you know that the solar panel when series, it will be added to get the voltage. So 120 voltage I will be getting, and this 120 volt is of actually vary with the irradiance level. So what is that? I will capture, I will use an MPPT, my maximum power point, to track the particular maximum voltage and capture at that particular point, and I will get the constant output DC. So this is one technology. And after this DC is coming, I am going to put an inverter. What is the inverter? DC to AC inverter I will be getting, and use an LC filter to smoothen the output of it. So here what will happen is, when I connect it to the load, naturally what will happen is the load is PQ load, I am connecting it. So for example, if I just say it, my inverter rating is of 5 kVA rating. So I can go up to, if it is of 5 kVA rating, if it is, I'm operating the system at 0.8 power factor, I can connect up to a load of 5 kilowatt. Up to 5 kilowatt load, that is up to 5 kilowatt I can connect it. If it is of unity power factor, I can go up to 5 kilowatt. If it is 0.8 power factor, 0.8 into 5, 4 to 5 kilowatt. So below this power factor, we will not operate. So I can connect a load up to 4 kilowatt. So this 4 kilowatt, if my load is of RL load, so naturally what will happen is, PV sin, VI sin phi is my reactive power load, and VI cos phi is my real power load. You can able to calculate what is the real power load and what is the reactive power load which is there. But if the system could be able to take the same value of load, then it's very easy for this. The system could not able to take the load, then what is my references? My reference is 4 kilowatt to 5 kilowatt for the real power load. But same time, because of reactive nature, the inductive load which is available into my system, there is an existence of reactive power also. So you will be having some amount of reference reactive power, but actual I'm taking this only real power load. At the same time, I will be having actually a voltage. This voltage for me, as when and my increases, it will try to droop out. But my system is designed for what value of voltage? Designed is for 230 volt, 50 hertz AC voltage. When I'm designing the system for 230 volts AC voltage, naturally what will happen is my system will try to droop its voltage. So naturally, I need to keep a reference voltage. I need to keep the reference real power value. So when I try to keep these two, real power value and reference value, what is that? Your P is directly proportional to the delta. What is delta? Load angle delta value. Even though it is a conventional power system, in the rotating system, it is possible for me to adjust my delta within, that means that the angle between the receiving end voltage and the sending end voltage. There you see that the receiving end voltage and the sending end voltage, it maintains an angle of this value. But here, the receiving end and sending end is not too far. It is the same position. There it is actually minimum 10 kilometers existence. It is not 10 kilometers also, because you are generating, you are utilizing. It is a very short distance. This angle delta also naturally will be minimum. But there will be a droop in the magnitude of the voltage. But in the previous case, the droop in the magnitude of voltage will not be very much. Here, the droop in the magnitude of voltage will be. So, because, and since it is not a rotating system, the conventional uses a generator which is a rotating system. But here, this is not a rotating system. So, to have the frequency control is what? Naturally, delta means what? Your frequency will change. That means your real power is directly proportional to the frequency, and reactive power is directly proportional to the voltage. So what is that we are having actually is, we are having something in the non-rotating system is called as, actually in the islanded case, it is the droop control system we will be following. In case of your grid connected system, what we will do is, we will try to generate the voltage of your inverter. That is, we will try to follow the grid. So to synchronize, we need to maintain the voltage of the grid and the frequency of the grid. So we will try to maintain by the any one of the power electronics control method. We will try to maintain the voltage of the grid and try to synchronize the grid. Once you got the synchronization, like if you just see it, synchronization, I can just say it, for example, one person is going bicycle, parallel to him another person is going by bike. Which will be faster? Bike is very much faster. But the person with the cycle will not be able to run or ride his cycle as fast as his bike. But it is possible if the guy, if there is a normal speed, like if the bike person maintains the speed of 40 to 60 kilometer per hour, then it is possible for him to run the cycle. So when he tries to run the cycle with the speed, so initially the person has to put some effort. The cycle person should put some effort to make his speed equal to the bike. Automatically, when he tries to synchronize, when he tries to run with reference to a bike and holds his hand with the bike person, naturally he need not run this one. Automatically, he will follow the bike. So this is what following the grid. So when you are having your renewable energy, excess energy connected to the grid, you can follow the grid. Or when you are having your renewable energy generating and utilizing by itself, you can form the grid and utilize it. So forming the grid is by having a power electronics control of conveyors. There is another question is there. So that is actually a big chapter, a big work which we are working on it, which we are especially we have done it for inverters. When inverters are doing two parallel inverters, we operated it. I think the last session when I was doing there, I shared this. So when you go for this one, that's what I was telling, right? Following the grid. So naturally, when you are generating a mega amount of energy, a mega amount of energy is in gigawatts. That is very, very high installing capacity. You need to be connected to the grid. You have to follow the grid. In that conditions, we need to have transmission grids to be strengthened, and it should be reducing the grid losses and improving the resilience of the power systems, and it should be more flexible, and it should be of demand response. Just because renewable energy is available, I should not generate it and keep it idle. Okay, interconnectors, and I should have a storage unit which plays a major role now here present sector. And there should be some incentive for your renewable energy project developers for the schemes. Encourage the use of information and communication technology. That's what I told. It should be smart enough. Your system has to be of, and it should support the electric mobility and renewable energy power generations in the unique environment. And also the bioenergy should meet the industrial energy demand using the renewable energy generations, and increase the collection of agricultural and forest and waste residues which is available to us. These are the conditions that when you are going to integrate the system, this is what is the necessity that we have to integrate the system. So this is what the scenario, you just see it, you got your generator, a steam turbine, a big unit, how the generator big, so big it is. And when you try to connect, how the environment is so clean, right? There is no structure required, nothing is required in the open environment. Everything is free, just make it so clean, natural thing is maintained, as well as you got your structure can be permitted to sit on the natural cases. So this is actually your conventional sources, and this is your wind energy and the solar, because these are the two things which is going to play a major role on the system. So these two things only I have put here. I have not put any biomass or diesel or anything for me. So this is what the conventional plant, and this one, when I try to have this one, I also should know what is the Indian scenario which is available on the system. When you try to take the Indian scenario which is available on the system, so if you just take it, what is the Indian scenario? This is actually the Indian scenario of wind energy generation. So you got wind which is available. So you just see it, major wind resources are available, major here, and down in Tamil Nadu here. See that wind energy scenario which is available. I think these brown color things are major wind resources. So already as expected, still down. I think it's not viewable for you. Down Tamil Nadu and in Tamil Nadu, Kanyakumari and all those places is still having a wind scenario is very high, and in the coastal areas, if you just see it, the coastal areas is having actually high scenario of wind generations which is available here. Okay, so this is what the scenario of wind. I think India is having nearly 20 to 30% capability of wind generation is possible for its demand requirement. That is what I should say. It can meet out a demand of 20 to 30% by wind generation itself. It is possible. because wherever the green is also a possibility of wind generation. Only thing is the blue scenario is little bit less. The other scenarios all good new generation cases. How about the sun? Sun is very good actually. That's why we kept solar in the high profile. So already if you just see that Modi ji has planned for this solar, and recently Maharashtra also there is one big solar plant which came into existence. Is it right or not? Am I correct? He has recently in this pandemic also, you should be happy enough to see that he has opened a solar institution for solar energy mega power plant for us. Okay. So that is a great achievement for us as far as this is concerned. Okay. So this is a very good solar thing. So when you try to consider this, what is the major role? So this is where actually I was coming for. Still now I have not yet gone. So here this is a solar plant which is going to give it to the converter and connect it to the AC grid. This is a utility grid. If it is of individual thing, that is if I want to have my own generation and my own this one. And next case you got actually, this is specific. In the specific cases, you got a low speed wind turbine generator, and this is connected to a multi-level inverter, cascaded and connected to the utility grid. So both the cases here, I should say this should be an inverter and this should be a inverter here to connect it to the utility grid. So if I want to connect it to the utility grid, I can connect it as a system. With reference to it, I have to have a voltage and the frequency. And this can be, if it is an islanded operation, then I can utilize it for your troop control and utilize it. If it is for your grid connected operations, I have to connect it for my conditions. So that should be the case here. Yes, Nivedita, what is your question, please?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, I just want to ask that the same question regarding the frequency control, the method. Like inverter, we first of all we convert that from ABC to DQ transformation, all that we do, and then we use a current regulator and voltage regulator. It automatically matches the voltage and frequency. So I don't think there is a much regarding the rotational thing. We need load frequency control because it's automatically done in inverter. In that way, grid is always following that. This DC part is always.
That's what in the that's what I told also. When you follow the grid, it is not a problem.
Yes.
When you follow a grid, it is not a problem. But when you follow the grid, what will happen is you will measure the three-phase inverter, you convert the ABC to DQ frame, and you will make the firing angle of your converter. According to that, you will make it always, you make the voltage and the frequency constant. That is not a problem at all. Problem will be only when you have an islanding operation. When you island the operation, for example, I say that you are connecting, for example, you say that your house. In the evening, 6 o'clock, what will happen? You will switch on all the lights, your TV as well as your AC, and you will have your monitor also with you. Is it right? It is highly loaded. But you are designed your inverter for your operation of, what do you say is, for a particular voltage. Naturally, what will happen? The voltage, as the load increases, voltage will drop down. Is it right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Whether you put any closed loop control for that?
No, ma'am.
That's right. So there should be some reference value there, because there is no, because it is an islanded operation. In the islanded operation, you are generating as per your voltage, your designed voltage and designed frequency. So you keep the designed voltage and designed frequency. Because of the increase in load, naturally there will be a fall in potential or fall in frequency. A drop in frequency will be available to you. So there you need to go on for your group control. transformation. It is not, I have not said about your grid control. When you are going in for grid controlling, once you follow, that's why I told, I have given the example of synchronization. You got your bike, which is going at a speed of 40 to 60 kilometers, which is a normal speed, which is a grid rated voltage also. So to have your grid, that means when a cycle person is wanted to catch up that grid voltage, he has to initially run up to that value. And once he runs up and comes in parallel to the person who's riding the bike, hold the bike parallelly to him. That means you are giving link or synchronization to him. Naturally, the bike person need not run. The grid will take control of it. Automatically, the cycle person will go without running. This you would experience in the practical situation also. Is it right?
Okay, ma'am. But then in island condition, if I include a closed loop, then it would be getting a complex inverter control. That would be a cost effect. That won't be much cost effective, no? Like it's getting a more and more complex inverter controlling rather than going for simple conventional power sources. If we go for renewable, and it would be more complex then.
Yes, that is right. But in the long run, when you go for a long run, what is your electricity bill present day?
It's too much, ma'am. Around 1 or 2.
And that to present day situations, it's very high for everybody. Is it right? So in a long run, what is the control cost will be? If you take a solar panel for your house, if you just calculate. When you try to calculate for a long run, what is the life of a solar panel is for nearly 30 years they have given.
Now 40, 50 years, ma'am.
Now it is 40, 50 years. Initially it is 30 years they have given, now 40 to 50 years. And your controller, you are going to design according to that one. Is it right or not?
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
So long run, you just see it, you are going to save the electricity bill and the emission, your dependency, all those things.
Will be ready. Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
That is where actually you are saving yours. So that is the major reason or major cause that we are going in for this particular situations. Any other? So this is what the scenario of this one. So we are talking about majorly on the converter side, or the converter which we are going to. People are saying like, you go for this converter, this is so efficient, that is so efficient, that is very much nice. If I take, for example, solar converter itself, first is for MPPT operation, I should give. When I try to take the MPPT operation of my solar converter, buck converter is available, boost converter is available, buck boost converter is available, septic converter is available, cuck converter is there. And people first of all should know actually which converter I'm putting is not an issue. Whatever that I'm doing it, I should do it with the Pakka solutions. The Pakka solution says that if I just say it, this is the converter that I'm going to use. Don't, since the majority here, how many of you have completed PhD? All, I could able to see the participants list, nearly 120 participants. Can you just, any one of you could able to see that how many of you have completed PhD? Is Vinod is here? Vinod? Or any one of you? Just some rough idea. How many of you have completed? Because I will give an idea on that. How many of you have completed PhD? So as per Vinod's suggestion saying that it says 15 PhD holders and remaining 100 are non-PhD holders. That is BTech students also, including, I should say. You BTech students, please don't hesitate to do something. Like for example, if I just say, I got renewable energy sources, PV is available, PV design you do. You do converter design. You do output. Check your known things first. Whatever you know, you just check whether you are getting it out. Let it be a simple thing. It's not a problem. Don't go for big things and get into a problem. and learn from the basics. For example, I should say that I'm having a solar PV here. I have to first design a solar PV. When I try to take a solar PV, what does the literature says about solar PV? First of all, study about the literature of solar PV. The solar PV is having single diode model available, double diode model. If you could not able to understand the double diode model, go to single diode model. Very easy. Diode acts as a switch. It conducts. What is the characteristics of the diode? It is a PV curve. In the inverse side, it will be a linear curve. Whether you are getting a curve of a diode, simple diode characteristics, that's all, nothing else. Your PV characteristics is nothing but your simple diode characteristics. Simple diode. That means where you studied in the third sem. It is not a big area. And then, so in that one, you have to extract a point on the particular one. If I want to extract a particular point, what is that? The maximum power that I have to track. What is the law that I have used? I have to use a maximum power transfer theorem. Maximum power transfer theorem you have studied. So utilize the maximum power transfer theorem for a DC circuit here. What is the DC circuit maximum power transfer theorem? When V and I are so much, you will get this one. That means your VTH is equal to RTH. So you can design the value of Thevenin resistance. That means you can design the value of resistance there and do the analysis and get the analysis there. Get the output of your MPP. That means only one value of voltage you will be getting at particular irradiance solution. If your irradiance is 800, you will get one value maximum output you will get into the solution. Okay. So that one particular point, if you just do it, then it's possible for you to get the output. That means input to the DC-DC converter. Then raise the voltage to the input value of your inverter. Once you got the inverter, then the inverter is going to have the output of AC, then design a simple filter. So all these things, what you are going to use? You are going to use only what is that you have studied up to your third semester, nothing else. Then understood the concept. What I am going to take now also, the next one that what I am going to take, the scenarios which I have taken, it is from IBEF and Invest India sector, government renewable energy side. So I'm going to stop sharing this particular slide and I'm going to take here. So for example, I'm going to take only two converters here for you. The two converters which I'm going to take it for your knowledge is only these things one is your buck converter. Buck converter, you just see it. I got only one switch. And I got an inductor and a freewheeling diode and inductor with a capacitor. This inductor and capacitor is nothing but notching it. And RL is this, our load which is to be connected. So this buck converter, I can operate in two modes of operation. One is your continuous conduction mode and discontinuous conduction. So what is the conditions? That is, it is normal. Everything we will know that if the switch is on, switch is off, all these things. What is that? Your continuous conduction mode. What is the discontinuous conduction? In the continuous conduction mode, the inductor current will not reach zero when the output I0 is very large. So how it will be? You see that the inductor current, it will be like this. Because of this, what will happen is my output voltage, V output is approximately, I'll be getting as. So this is the advantage of my continuous conduction mode when I choose to do it here. In the discontinuous conduction mode, the inductor current will be zero when the output current I0 is very small. That means automatically when the load is less, this will go to zero, automatic zero. So in the continuous conduction mode, LC filter, to pass the DC component while attenuating switching. That means when it attenuates for the switching process, it will. So the diode gets reversed by us during the on period. When the switch is on, the diode will be reversed. That means the diode will not conduct. It will be having voltage like this. Input provides energy to the load to the inductor, and the energy is transferred to the load from the inductor during the switch. So what will happen? The inductor is the charging device. It will not go to zero. This inductor is going to supply to the load when it is. So the interchange of energy between the inductor and capacitor is referred to as your flywheel effect on the system. So you should be very much careful when you are doing these things. So when you are analyzing things, study these things in depth, and still more cautiousness can be given in the study of this inductor and capacitor design itself. How it is getting energized, what is the energy that is being lost, how you can able to improve the energy which is based on this system. It is possible for us. So there you give the concentration and make yourself a in-depth study of it. What is that present situation? What we are doing is, we are superficially studying all these things and forget about the basics. The basics is very important for all of us, which we need to go on for. There are some 5 to 6 questions on the chat. Professor Babita Nanda, how can we design a filter for PV based inverter? Madam, there is nothing called as PV based inverter filter design, nothing called like that is it. You got, what is that? Even in the PV inverter, what is that you are doing is, you are going to give only a constant DC as an input. Okay, so the inverter LC design is the same. There is no change in the inverter design. Whether you are going to design a passive filter or an active filter, what is the condition you are going to do it? If you are going in for an power quality improvement, then naturally you have to go in for an filter design, that is your active filter design, higher level cases. If your system is going to be only for generation of inverter output and utilize it for your local load, I think local load does not need any power quality because your voltage is going to be a constant value. There you need to go on for passive filter design, it is enough. Otherwise, if you're connecting it to the grid, then you need to go in for an active filter design. Madam, did I answer to your question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So when you do designing, please check what is the purpose of it. Okay. What PV does not, there is no inverter says it is for the PV inverter. There is no converter says it is for the PV converters. Okay. Any other doubts? So just I have made the basic CCM. I will stop here and make the question session. I think it is 7:25. I will ask Vinod whether question can be asked. Vinod, 7:25. Shall we go for questions? Yes. So I will give some 5 to 10 minutes for the question session. Any other questions if you are having? There is a thing, good feedbacks. If you are having questions, please.
Ma'am, if I design for passive filter, so what are the factors I will consider for that?
Yes, first of all, you should know exactly, you should analyze what type of harmonics you are having in the inverter output.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
The main thing is the inverter output should be of major cases 3, 5. If it is 3, 5, 7, and 11, you can go for passive filter. And beyond that, if you want to still smoothness is required and quality to be maintained, you go for an active filter.
Okay, ma'am.
And there are very good papers on passive filters also available. I think when you operate in islanded mode, a passive filter is very good when compared to active filters.
Okay, ma'am.
Any other doubts, please?
So I should consider LC or LCL, ma'am?
That
Which one
depends
I-
upon your that depends upon your applications actually. What type of
Okay.
applications you are? If that means that's what I told you. If you want to, if I just say specifically, I've taken that DCM, CCM is mainly for that only. So when you want to have a high current, then LCL will be good. When you want it for a voltage, then your LC will be good. That is situations, depending upon your situations, what type of load you are going to take. Because both these things are hybrid. That is, both these things are going to be of energy storage devices. Which converter topology is used when we have hybrid power systems? Right, good. Hybrid, when I say hybrid power systems, that's what I told. It depends upon your rating. For example, I say that I told, but the statement what I am telling now and that is told now and what I'm going to tell now is a little bit different. You just see it. When you are having hybrid means it is actually a PV and wind is going to be a hybrid power system, right? So in the wind, what is that which is having is we are going to have your AC to DC and DC to again AC is going to be there. And next one is you're going to have a PC, that is PV system, where DC and DC to AC will be there. You may ask me, ma'am, this is conventional I was just talking about. You are having your AC to DC is there. Somebody please mute yourself. Who is that? Mute yourself, please. So when you are having your converters, when the wind converter AC to DC is available for you, why? Because I'm going for variable AC to variable DC. This depends upon your wind. Okay. So what is your wind? Wind designers, what is the meteorological data which is available there? So which is 3 to 12 meter per second. The particular area would have last 5 years, they be having a wind data of 7 meters per second means, then you have to have a converter. That is, you know what is the meteorological data, and depending upon that, you can design the converter, and you have to choose the converter based on the application side and the efficiency side. So there I should not say that you have to see, for example, this particular case, you have to use in NPC only. That is NPC in the sense neutral point clamp. Here you have to use only CHB. Here you have to use only this much. That should not be the specific cases. It depends upon renewable energy. All renewable energy application depends upon the meteorological data. So you should have a survey, super survey on that data, and then based on data you have to design the structure. When you design a hybrid system itself, the structure should be well defined. In some places, you see that in some cases, for example, if I just say in some cases, I can have AC to AC converter itself, where the change of frequency is possible. Okay. So it depends upon specifically what particular location you are just choosing it and what particular application you are choosing. So I cannot define, yes, this wind means this, you have to use it. Yes. Why not active filter in islanded micro? See, Already when I've answered one more person, when she was telling about the Druck controller itself, the Druck controller itself, why madam Druck controller is a very minor technology. Druck controller itself, why not it is costly. But when you go for an active filter for an islanded mode is what you are going to do it for your own house, a simple system. So in that simple system, why do you want to go in for such a complicated, complex control, shunt active filter or a series active filter designing? A series active filter is adding like one more converter into the system. Is it right? So already your converter is of nearly lakhs together, you will be putting it for the system. And you are adding one more shunt active filter for lakhs together of system. I think such a system is required for an islanded load. Yes, sir. Amit, Amar Kumar Parik. Did I answer to your question? Amar Kumar, sir? Yes. Thank you, sir. Any other doubts? Any other doubts? It is going to be 7:30. Yes. Yes. It is cost saving and also reduce complications. Leonid Babu, can we have fax devices? Yes, if your hybrid system is of nearly 5 megawatt, because nowadays the islanded microgrid can go up to 10 megawatt. If it is a hybrid system of more than 5 megawatt, you can go in for your STATCOM. We have got papers using STATCOM in the hybrid system with the fax devices for reactive power improvement. It is available. It is there. Somebody wants to do PhD, that if the call for comes VIT, you register. If it is external part-time, now VIT is not accepting any PhDs. Everybody is only internal part-time. Internal part-time is allowed. Internal part-time is having some more benefits also. That is internal full-time candidate only they are accepting. You have to write exam and there is an interview. I think due to pandemic, they've cancelled the entrance examination. Maybe present session, they may keep it. I think you will be getting a call for in July. You just see to the call for. Based on the call for, you attend. Once you get admission, you contact. That's all. Akhtar Rasul, what is the superiority of multi-level converters over? Yes, that is a big thing. What is that I was talking about is harmonics one day. The harmonics is very much reduced in case of multi-levels, so that the smoothening of output waveform is very much higher here. And when you go for this normal converters, the notches and harmonics is very much high, so that we have to go on for LCL filter or LC filter design, that is very high. We will be getting less anything. And your multi-level converter, the problem with the multi-level converter also, I should say, it is having a lot number of switches and switching losses that has to be taken care of. So multi-level and converter, it is not superior, I should say. It is also having its own disadvantage, and normal converter is also having its own disadvantage. There is no need to publish any paper before. If you are publishing, or if you have published a paper, it is an added advantage. That is all. Only your BTech mark and MTech mark is taken into account for your calculations. Published paper is an added advantage. Prepare well for your interview, understand your basics well, and be prepared for your topic. What is the idea that you are having? That is enough for doing PhD. Anybody else? Any questions are there furthermore? Yes, I think I've answered to all questions. No more questions are available. Let me talk with Vinod. Vinod, முடிச்சிருச்சுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் வினோத். Okay. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am, for this great session. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this really insightful session on power electronics converters for smart microgrid. The session was amazing and gave us all really good knowledge on this topic, and I hope every one of us here can agree on that. I would also like to use the opportunity to thank our college, New Horizon College of Engineering and Electrical Electronics Department, NHCE. I would also like to thank our principal, Manjunatha sir, HOD of EEE, Dr. Mahesh sir, and our branch advisor, Dr. Vinod Kumar sir, for giving us the opportunity to organizing this event. Lastly, I would like to thank all the participants for their support throughout the session and taking the time off to attend this webinar conducted by IEEE Power Electronics Student Branch Chapter NHCE. Thank you. We have posted the attendance link and the feedback link in the chat box. Kindly please fill to receive your certificates. Please check your spam folder for the received certificate. We will also be conducting another event soon on the 11th of June, which is going to be an international event conducted by Dr. Tobias Geyer. So hope all of you will register. We will be sharing the registration links to your email IDs. Please do register. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Nishchal Dinesh, and I should thank Vinod also for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with you. Thank you.